This is intolerable. I want a situation update. I want the intelligence analyst who filed the last situation report reduced to permanent latrine orderly.
My Lord Serpentor, Destro controls the South Beach with 2 squadrons of armor, a battalion of elite infantry, and an unknown quantity of attack aircraft. We suspect the cruise ship is armed with offensive missile systems. The Joes control the center of the airfield and the east end where the ASP emplacements are. They have no cover and can't get resupplied unless they take the whole field. Zartan is approaching the field from the northwest with a column of maggots.
Move between the 2 Joe positions. At least we won't be flanked.
I'll keep their greasy little heads down, Hawk. You just climb on and we'll get you back to our lines.
We've got Serpentor to the northeast, Zartan to the northwest, and Destro over the south. The Joes are caught in the middle. What's the matter, Clutch? Don't you like being the center of attention? And that is the current deployment of hostile troops at the airfield. Whom do we engage first, Zartan? The Joes, Serpentor, or Destro?
We don't engage anyone. We take and hold the west end of the airfield and wait to see what Destro is up to.
Get this thing upright again. I order you.
How about ordering up a crane or a power winch?
We're trapped on this beach. We're never going to be able to get back to our own lines across the beach and runways with no cover and no armored vehicle. And all because Thrasher made a wrong turn and crashed us into Destro. And...
Aw, quit your whining and give me all your grenades.
Clear out! Thrasher's gone berserk.
Bring the engineers ashore. I want all vehicles entrenched behind earthworks. I want the flanks mined. No one will fire unless fired upon. We are going to conduct an orderly invasion here.
There. Thunder Machine's back on its wheels, and no real harm except maybe a little scorched paint and a few shrapnel holes. Start it up, Thrasher! Cobra Commander's getting away with the dreadnought, should we?
Our priority is to get our boys joined up with Serpentor's Hiss column. We'll have to let the head snake slide for now.
So maybe the transmission is a bit out of whack. I'll pack in a bit more sawdust and grease and...
Thrasher, I'm going to perform that lobotomy myself.
What? No anesthetic?
Ow! This is the anesthetic.
They rescued Hawk and they're bringing him back.
Great. Now he can get overrun with the rest of us. How did we manage to get caught in the open like this?
If we break from what little cover we have to form up with Serpentor, Zartan will cut us to pieces with his maggots. Get the team ready to move out smartly, Duke. The main event is just about to start.
The airfield is too open. Move the Hiss squadron and the Stingers into defensive positions around the ASP emplacement at the east end of the runway. The G.I. Joe engineer team controls the ASP emplacements, and since they are here in support of us, we shall simply absorb them.
Zartan and the maggots are forming up at the west end of the field.
Now Serpentor is regrouping at the eastern end of the field.
Blast! So that's what happened to the Baroness when her squadron got overrun back at the landlocked freighter. I wonder if Serpentor really believes that Cobra Commander won't risk hitting her to get a shot at him. No way. He couldn't possibly be that naive.
Zartan, Serpentor is falling back to the ASP emplacements. If he digs in there and the Joes fall back to join him, they will have an open field of fire down the entire runway.
All batteries, give me concentrated fire on Serpentor's Hiss squadron. Fire at will!
So this is Zartan's pathetic opening gambit? Gunners, pick your targets. Hit them with a mixture of high explosive and white phosphorus.
We're in the middle of an artillery duel. Duke, move the men out. Get them over to Serpentor's lines.
You there. Tell your men to reinforce the right flank.
With all due respect, Mr. Serpentor, it just doesn't work like that. We are here in a support and advisory capacity, and as such are subject to our own chain of command, and I am obligated to register an official complaint about your treatment of prisoners.
Spare me. Will you do me a favor then and have your captured asps open fire on Zartan's maggots?
That I can arrange.
All HISS units firing flat trajectory. Prepare to switch to canister when the Joe team has cleared the field.
Lob it in heavy. Throw some smoke on that runway to cover our boys' withdrawal to our lines.
Evacuate the wounded first. Security team will cover the withdrawal. Any vehicle that can't be moved must be rendered inoperable. That's what your thermite grenades are for. Breaker, redirect our air cover. Sick 'em on Zartan.
Breaker to Wild Bill and Maverick. Forget about Destro and Pound Zartan. How do you read me?
Loud and clear. Going in for a strafing run right now.
It's about time you got back to your own lines. Leaving your troops in the lurch like that is reprehensible.
It's my army and I'll do what I want.
You have to call in an airstrike. We have Mambas waiting in reserves, but they are answerable only to your direct orders.
Yes, yes, yes. Give me those binoculars. Ha! That Serpentor has got the Baroness strapped to the front of his HISS tank like a trophy buck. He doesn't seriously think that will make me hold my fire, does he? Now, what is Destro up to?
Your chair is ready, Lord Destro. Will you be having your iced tea now, sir?
Yes. Thirsty work, this. You may have the troops fall out for tea. Remind them to post double sentries.
Will that be all, sir?
Quite a splendid view of the battle. Have the junior officers take notes. Rather informative, actually.
I hate this. Whoever planned this fiasco should have come along for the ride.
What are you griping about, Leatherneck? You really want some Pentagon desk driver getting underfoot and slowing you down?
Wouldn't slow him down at all. He'd just kick him along the ground as he runs and shoots.
Hop on board, Roadblock. 4 wheels is better than 2 heels.
Sometimes, Crankcase, but in this situation, I feel safe if I can dodge and weave. And I'm a big enough target as it is. My leg. Take it easy. I'll get you out of there.
Pile him on. We've got plenty of room.
No, thank you, sir. We're doing just fine. Serpentor, I told you we could cut a deal and I was right. What better support could you ask for than the entire G.I. Joe team?
We have a slight problem, Dr. Mindbender. It is a matter of the chain of command.
I don't see what the problem is. My men answer to me and me alone.
This is wholly unsatisfactory.
I'm sure we can work these out if we discuss it rationally.
Here comes Serpentor's reserves. They must have double-timed it all the way across Cobra Island.
Those are bats, lowlight. Android troopers. They would low-crawl through a minefield if you programmed them to do it.
There is nothing to discuss. Our orders are explicit. You have requested our aid and support. We are here to provide that, but at my discretion.
Ugh. This is no way to run a campaign. There must be a central command.
I agree, but I am still not going to turn over command of the G.I. Joe team to you. You play the game by my rules or not at all.
Perhaps? Absolutely unthinkable.
Better make up your mind, Serpentor. It's raining bat parts.
It appears I have no choice. I accept your terms. Dr. Mindbender, see to the deployment of the reserve bats and call in some air cover.
Well, that was easily settled. Here comes the air support we ordered up.
At least we can swat the Joe aircraft out of the sky.